The art of never giving up. Rewire your brain for perseverance. My entire existence may be summed up as a series of incidents that kept repeating over and over again, till I saw that something had to be done about it. We've often heard a lot of times that failures are the pillars of success. But do we truly understand how? No matter how hard we try, we always end up back where we started. I'm just like you guys. We all want change and better results, but we're never ready to step out of our comfort zones. And that's what hit me. A new beginning requires a new you. And that means making some adjustments. It could be a habit, your daily routine, or starting something you've been wanting to do. You may have encountered different people talking about how they changed their lives, but no one said it was easy. You will become familiar when your mind will adjust to the new routine, accept it, and you will be used to your second nature. For whatever reason, taking that initial step is always the most challenging. But that is how the tides begin to swing in your favor. Don't expect perfection on the first try. Instead, embrace the fact that mistakes and setbacks are part of the learning process. Have you ever wondered the reason why we place such a high value on things that we either lack or aspire to have? Goals, desires, fantasies, and even materialistic items like a house, car, or even loathing of money seem very essential to us as long as we do not have them. Merely said, it's because we've never had access to these things in the past. We had struggles and disappointments due to a lack of these things, which creates an urge to have it all. Trials are the next logical step. We get up the next day hoping that if we try hard enough, we might be able to accomplish our goal. Individuals anticipate meeting their own expectations after 1 or 2 attempts, but when they fail, they give up. It wears you out and leaves you feeling drained. But that's it. That's when you have to hold on, which may seem impossible. Why do we give up? There are numerous possible explanations for why someone quits. I am discussing some of the most common ones. Finding a solution requires first pinpointing the nature of the issue, which is mentioned as follows. You don't want it enough. When I say that, I literally mean that your dreams or goals you have for yourself are not big enough. It's as though you want it, but at the same time, you realize that you can manage just fine without it. The passion to have it is not driving you crazy. This is a sobering reality for most people, but perhaps if you accept it, you can begin to see things from a different angle, which will allow you to rediscover what you originally want in life. Being so uniquely diverse, it's impossible for any 2 individuals to strive for the same life ambitions. Similar, but never the same. For a clearer explanation, let's say aspires to financial success. It's common knowledge that no one willfully seeks poverty. Yet, a wishes to make $10 million over the course of 5 years by expanding his business, which is a smart goal that will make him wealthy. Now we have a goal that is unique to each individual, that is smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. You are motivated but not disciplined. The typical response of humans after deciding to make a change comes due to intense motivation. You can make fair decisions with this inspiration, but is that all that's needed? Multiple studies have shown that motivation doesn't last long because it's generated by the subconscious desire that's always lurking at the back of our minds. Decisions made under the influence of motivation are often made hastily, and although they may keep you going for a while, it won't take you much farther. Therefore, discipline is the most effective method. Discipline may have several definitions, but for me, discipline means accepting the uncomfortable truth but still choosing to work it out until you are comfortable doing so. It may not make you feel particularly motivated because the brain is constantly conditioned to prevent you from doing things you are not accustomed to doing, but it is more like the promise you make to yourself in order to live the bigger picture. You have unrealistic goals. Certainly, this is debatable. However, it's true that many individuals strive for outcomes that are impossible to achieve, which are known as unrealistic goals. I know we have our own beliefs on these proverbs, like dream big, the sky's the limit, and believe in your dreams. But even so, we also need to be rational. This stems from a place where we are thinking more of what we want in life rather than considering what we can actually afford or possibly do in order to achieve it. You can easily commit to the goal of purchasing a billion-dollar property within a year, but are you prepared to put in the effort necessary to actually accomplish this? Perhaps it's possible, but only if you're willing to give up sleep, risk your health, and work 20 hours a day for 12 months straight without involving yourself in social gatherings. Logically, 90% of you may back off of the number of sacrifices it requires. Therefore, it is important to incorporate realistic targets like the SMART goals, which are achievable. You lack persistence. In my experience, repeating the same course of action becomes tedious and boring over time, and the lack of results frequently leads to frustration. We cannot overlook the fact that things were never easy. When you set out to achieve something, you'll inevitably face obstacles like these. And it doesn't just happen once or twice. There are multiple instances in which your mind is too feeble to continue and you have to start over. You are afraid of failing. We all are, aren't we? Think back on the times when you failed in the past and how it impacted you. You probably felt embarrassed, guilty, triggered, or dejected, and those are the only emotions you can recall. Failure can feel like trauma. You tend to forget the past, but failures cannot be erased, and we all have experienced this at some point in our lives. Let us now examine how many times we made a mistake and knowingly repeated it. Every part of our lives teaches us something, and if we were perfect at everything, I don't think I'd be writing about my experiences, and you would be reading about the same. We need to turn our attention to what we've learned. If we continue to have a negative attitude towards failure, it will haunt us and will never allow us to go forward. For the majority, failing once is enough, and the next thing they know, they've given up, which is why this is an obstruction to achieving what you want. Keep in mind, the best thing you can do to start is to change the way you think. The first step towards fixing a problem is acknowledging that you have one. Most difficulties can be resolved just by fixing the mindset, and therefore this set of advice will help you acknowledge, understand, and work towards your goals with an optimistic approach. Be sure that the goals you've set for yourself are of high value and that you love it enough to keep going when things get tough. The more you practice discipline, the more powerful and unbreakable your motivation will become. Discipline is the cure for self-doubt, fear, and diffidence. If your goals are big, break them down into smaller ones. It is always advisable to take one step at a time. Keep rewarding yourself after those little achievements. You deserve it. Even when the going gets tough, keep pushing. The vision you started it with shouldn't be vague. Your mind may throw arguments at you, but never give up, even in your darkest hour. Get used to failing. Accepting failures with a careful analysis of not repeating the same pattern will help you discover the right path to success. From my own experience, I've learned that there is no one time or place where you can find all the answers you've been longing for with all those how, when, why, and what questions. But once you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you will undoubtedly no longer be left with any questions. Prioritize your goals, create a focus, develop a hobby, and hang in there. You need not to take big decisions to live the life of your dreams. Rather, take small, wiser decisions every day. Eating healthy, waking up early, writing a journal, or just taking a walk in nature are some suggestions applicable for everyone. All this may not be relevant or contributing to what goals you have set, but never lose sight of who you are as an individual in the pursuit of your goals. You should always strive to take care of yourself, and nothing can defeat a person who is strong in mind, body, and spirit. If you've enjoyed this content and want to keep exploring the path of resilience and determination, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Together, we can spread the motivation and encouragement needed to face life's challenges head-on and keep moving forward. Your journey to success and unwavering perseverance starts now.